Coming up, Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron is announcing new steps in the fight against human trafficking. And 46 years ago, a mine disaster took the lives of 26 men. Now, 2 men who worked at the mine are sharing their stories.
And Old Man Winter is dropping in for a quick visit to kick off the weekend. I'll have the very latest coming up right now as First at 4 continues.
Mountain News First at 4 continues.
I know it's hard to believe, but snow is on the way. We could even wake up to a few inches on the ground Saturday morning. That's why it's a severe weather alert day. Meteorologist Evan Hatter has an update on what to expect. Evan?
That's right, Steve. Folks, right now, maybe getting ready to walk out the door on the way home from work today, looking out the door and saying, I barely need a jacket and it's beautifully sunny outside. What do you mean we've got snow in the forecast? Well, we do. Mountain Parkway at Slade. Plenty of blue sky right now as the sun slowly starts to set, taking you to Buffalo Mountain here in Perry County. Last of the clouds pushing away. Beautiful sunny skies out there at the moment. Thermometers, they're high, at least for this time of year. They're above normal in some spots. Jacksboro, Middlesboro, very close to 60, middle 50s around the rest of the region, even some low 50s, a few upper 40s in the higher elevations, but otherwise, it's a pretty nice afternoon. Nothing to deal with on satellite and radar. The last of those clouds continue to push out of the region. So we back out. Look to the west. There's that next round of snow starting to work on its way slowly this direction from Chicago down to St. Louis over toward Kansas City. That's where the moisture is gathering ahead of our big front heading our way for tomorrow. For tonight, no weather worries. Mostly cloudy skies down in the mid to upper 30s for overnight lows tonight. I'll have the very latest on what time the snow moves in and how much we could see coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
Evan, thank you. Kentucky's Attorney General says police in smaller towns need more tools to notice and combat human trafficking. Daniel Cameron says his office is making available a new training video. It comes after meetings with smaller Kentucky police forces. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more about the initiative from the state capitol.
Human trafficking is simply exploiting someone for labor or sex, and Attorney General Cameron says a lot of times police haven't known what exactly to look for, and this new training video is going to help with that. The new video came from a meeting with Lancaster Police Chief Rodney Kidd, who shared concerns that exploitation of people could easily be happening in small towns too. A detective in eastern Kentucky said a man was charged with using his girlfriend's kids to work for him. A northern Kentucky investigation involved a judge sexually victimizing kids. All of these stories are on a video Cameron says should be helpful to law enforcement statewide.
We hope it will help law enforcement's efforts to identify trafficking, highlight resources available for investigations, and ultimately help safeguard our communities and our children specifically from traffickers.
Daniel Cameron says they don't want to stop just with police. They want to get some of these tools in the hands of others in the community, such as churches and other active citizens organizations to combat this problem. In Frankfort, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Today's announcement follows the Your Eyes Save Lives campaign from a year ago that included billboards, radio and television ads, and social media posts. A Senate bill that bans abortion after 15 weeks advances through the state legislature. Senate Bill 321 closely models the Mississippi abortion bill that's currently before the U.S. Supreme Court. And if the Supreme Court upholds that bill, SB 321 would already be in place to take effect in Kentucky. Representatives from the Kentucky Family Foundation and pro-life organizations spoke in support of the bill, while representatives from Planned Parenthood Kentucky and the ACLU oppose it, arguing it will disproportionately affect low-income women.
For people who come from backgrounds where you're the first generation college student, or you don't have as many resources, or you're on food stamps, for us, things are more possible when we're not forced to do things like have a child that we're not prepared for mentally and financially.
Those who support the bill argued the unborn child should have a right to life. In 2019, Kentucky passed the fetal heartbeat bill, which prohibits an abortion if a fetal heartbeat is detected. A federal judge blocked that law from taking effect. Legal challenges, though, are still pending. 46 years ago, 26 men lost their lives during a 3-day period in 2 separate explosions at a coal mine in Letcher County. The Scotia mine disaster of March 9th and 11th of 1976 was a tragedy heard throughout the mountains. Now, Joe Shelton and Eddie Nichols, who worked at the mines at the time of the explosion, have released books to preserve the stories and remember those who lost their lives. We met with both authors at the general store at Pine Mountain Crossing today, where their books are available, and Shelton recalled the moment the mine had exploded while underground with a fellow miner.
It blew the ventilation curtains down around us, and it blew a lot of dust up, and all the electricity went off, and our ventilation was lacking then where the curtains was down. And Wayne, he spoke over and asked me, he said, "What do you think's happening?" I said, "Wayne, this mine's exploded."
Shelton and Nichols say they are both blessed to be alive and still send their condolences to the families of all the men who died. We will have more about the Scotia mine disaster and the books tonight at 6. At least 18 healthcare providers have been hit by Russian attacks since the start of the conflict, including a maternity and children's hospital. One U.S. official estimates up to 6,000 Russian troops may have been killed so far 2 weeks into the war. Vice President Kamala Harris is in Poland's capital, Warsaw, where more than 1 million Ukrainians have crossed the border to escape the fighting. The vice president announced the U.S. is giving $50 million to help those refugees. CBS's Christina Ruffini has more.
The train station in Przemyśl is full of unexpected departures, missed connections, and delays. But in a crowded corner, armed with a cardboard sign and Google Translate,
Russian to English,
U.S. Army Captain Sebastian Connor is carrying out his self-appointed mission, finding rooms for refugees in transit.
The only way I could think of to actually help these people was to get hotels and put them in a place where they could get a hot shower and a bed.
So this is how you're spending your vacation?
Now it is, yeah.
Connor was on leave in Poland, visiting the Nazi death camp at Treblinka when the Russian assault happened. Instead of taking his planned flight to Ireland, he grabbed a train to this town near the Ukrainian border and started booking every hotel room he could find.
I saw that human tragedy, I saw this unfolding, and I was like, I can't do nothing. It doesn't make any sense.
These 4 women and 6-year-old Adam came from Kyiv. Their train for Warsaw didn't leave until the next day, so instead of sleeping at the station, they followed Connor about 15 minutes through cold cobblestone streets to this hostel.
Thank you.
Where they get 4 beds, free of charge. Did you think you would have to leave?
No, I did. Even yesterday, I didn't know if I should leave or I should stay. Yes.
In the face of overwhelming uncertainty, knowing where they're going to sleep tonight, they said helps. And for this night, that's enough. Now, Connor had to go, his leave is over, but he's handed the effort over to some local Polish volunteers who are going to help fill the hotel rooms he has booked up. He's also got a GoFundMe account that's raised more than $3,000. Christina Ruffini, CBS News, Rzeszów, Poland.
Well, concerns about COVID-19 caused more than 40% of workers to miss work amid the Omicron surge. A new Kaiser Family Foundation survey involving about 1,500 adults showed low-income workers were even more likely to report missing work due to Omicron. About 6 in 10 said they had to call out sick, and less than a third said they got paid sick leave. A quarter of low-income workers who had to miss work due to COVID concerns said it had a major impact on the family stress level and finances. Coming up on First at 4, inflation accelerates to its highest level in decades.